Stony from Teesside asks, Steve, did you see Oasis? And what do you think of the 90s revival? Well, Stony from Teesside, no, I didn't see Oasis play. And to be honest, they never really were my kind of band, not even in the 90s, although I didn't really have a problem with them. I quite like Definitely Maybe. I think, though, that if you'd have asked me what I felt about Oasis getting back together maybe a couple of years ago, I think I probably would have been really quite annoyed. There's been so much 90s revival stuff going on. I just felt like, oh God, you know, the inevitability of then getting back together for the money just would have annoyed me a little bit. But I think now, having seen the reaction of the fans and the audience and the clear excitement that people have been expressing about seeing their favourite act from all those years ago back on stage and how great the shows were, I think, you know what, this is great, this is fine. Nostalgia is a really powerful thing. And of course, if you mix it up with music, then you've got, well, a great night out at the very least, I suppose. I've seen Oasis play 4 times actually, although maybe that's sort of 3 and a bit. I DJ'd for them at the Middlesbrough Arena. This was just before Shaker Maker came out. And so they were known, but they weren't terribly famous. And so, yeah, I can say, I've DJ'd for Oasis, but then who can't? Then I saw them again at the Middlesbrough Arena about a month later. That was an infamous show where stuff happened, but I'll just leave that there. And then I saw them at Glastonbury in '95 by accident. That wasn't really up to much. But, you know, my favourite time for seeing Oasis was actually in 1997, although it wasn't an actual Oasis show. We'd all been out, Dubstar thing, can't remember what it was. And I think I decided to go back to the hotel in London before everybody else. So I went back on my own. This was at the Swiss Cottage Marriott Hotel by Regent's Park, really nice part of London. So I'm going back and I thought, you know, I'll have a pint in the hotel bar, really swish bar, and just gather my thoughts, the usual thing. And so I got my drink and I sat down, and then I noticed that in the corner of the room, there was a whole bunch of people there and they were singing. In fact, it wasn't hard to notice them. It was difficult to ignore. They were so loud. So I looked over and blow me down, it's Liam Gallagher, some bloke with a guitar, not Noel, and a whole load of friends. And they were having a sing-along, a really great time. So I just thought, I know, I'm going to sit here with my drink. I'm not going to go over to them, I'm not going to interfere. I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to have my very own Liam Gallagher moment. I got another drink. By the time that I got back from the bar, somehow everybody had gone. And so I just reflected on this and I kind of thought, well, you know, here is a story that I can't wait to tell everybody else in the band. Finished my drink. Went over to the elevator at the lift just next to the bar to go to my room. And I'm just sort of standing here like this. And the elevator door opens and I step forward and there's this huge arm right in front of me, massive bloke standing there. I look up kind of startled and he just looks at me straight in the eyes and he says, get the next one. Not kind of menacing, but definitely that feeling of, you know, you're not getting in, mate. And I thought, oh, okay. In the corner of the elevator, there was our Liam, slumped out. Clearly on his way to bed, but hadn't quite made it. And so I didn't want to stare. So I looked over, looked back at the security bloke who was looking straight at me. And we had this moment of, yeah, it's time to go. So I went, and that's my Liam Gallagher moment. Yeah, the 90s were fun. But would I want to revive it now? I don't know. In Brighton next month, might even be this month, I don't know. But there are gigs coming out from Sleeper, from the Blue Tones, from Echo Belly. I think My Life Story, Jake's doing some shows as well. You know, do I feel like, oh, should Dubstar be involved in that? I have to admit, on occasion, yeah, I do feel like maybe we're missing out. I think on the one hand, if you really want to go and see those bands that maybe you didn't see in the 90s or you've discovered more recently, or you just want to go and see the people that you really love play their shows and play their songs and do their thing, then I think that's great. I really do. Go out there, enjoy yourselves. And it's the same with the musicians. You know, you had some big hits in the 90s. Play them now. Please, there are people who want to hear these songs. More power to your elbow, and you have my blessing. But as I know that I said a long time ago, the 90s revival thing, it isn't really for me. I'm lucky in the sense that I'm out on stage DJing 2 or 3 times a month doing my thing, whether it's like a dub set or it's a 90s set or a techno thing. Basically, if you're having a party and you want a decent DJ, speak to me. So I have this opportunity to go out and have a great time with music on a regular basis. And I don't have this sort of burning desire to recreate or reenact what we were doing all those years ago. It's just not in me. On the other hand, for everybody who loves that kind of thing, I'll be in the crowd with you, probably at all of those shows in Brighton. Music is something we can share. The best music can be timeless. Throw that in with some nostalgia, a couple of pints, and some sing-alongs. Well, you've got a great night out. See you there.